Just as the tension explodes, Klebius starts yelling at Jix, demanding if he's treating this whole situation like a joke, only for Jix to tell him to chill and listen first, because Rothtaylor, cool and collected as ever, lays out the battle plan. They'll need to bypass Janica's fire spirit, Tarkan, and also deal with Velosfer, the spirit of darkness that's hijacked Janica's body. But instead of going head-on, Rothtaylor proposes splitting the raid into 2 squads, with one distracting Tarkan while the other subdues Janica directly, bypassing the damage-impervious fire spirit's shell. Lortelle immediately calls bullshit, pointing out Tarkan isn't like the practice version, they barely escaped last time, and if things go sideways, both groups get wiped. Rothtaylor counters with cold logic. The real mission is taking down Janica, which will automatically neutralize Tarkan, so risks are irrelevant. Jix asks who's in the suicide squad, prompting a deadpan student to call it a literal death wish, and Taylor, sweet idiot hero he is, volunteers like an anime protagonist on autopilot, but Rothtaylor shuts him down and physically pushes him aside, saying he's essential for the subduing squad. Taylor insists he's fast and ready to sacrifice, but Rothtaylor corrects him. This isn't a death lottery, and they're not picking sacrificial pawns. Instead, he selects Klebius and Lortelle to join him in luring Tarkan, which makes both of them immediately object. Klebius panics, Lortelle flatly refuses, but Rothtaylor says he has a method to bind Tarkan, and though Klebius would rather die than fight beside him, Phoenia steps in and drops her royal weight, commanding the party split. She, Taylor, Jix, Elvira, and Isla will subdue Janica. Rothtaylor, Klebius, and Lortelle will lure. She gives one final order: do not die, and the group split with tension high and blue energy surging, signaling Tarkan's terrifying approach. Lortelle questions how they're supposed to stall that monstrous fire lizard, but Rothtaylor just tells them to follow orders, promising it'll work, and shows a glowing orb as a hint of his plan. He reassures Klebius, calling him the top freshman in combat despite his gloomy lack of confidence, and Klebius, startled but a bit bolstered, decides maybe, just maybe, he won't totally die today. As Tarkan awakens in a flood of blue energy, Klebius steels himself, right until Tarkan actually roars, and Klebius realizes Rothtaylor and Lortelle have vanished, triggering a full-blown meltdown as he screams, flees, and curses them both as traitorous maniacs while running down the corridor yelling that he hates this world. Rothtaylor, watching from the shadows with Lortelle, coolly says the bait's in place, but Lortelle questions whether he just sacrificed Klebius. Rothtaylor says no. Klebius is tough, resilient, and more importantly, she has the critical job: blowing a hole in the entry path and landing a decisive hit on Tarkan. Lortelle, now intrigued, charges up a devastating blue spell, reflecting on how Rothtaylor must have remembered her blowing up Nail Hall during joint combat training, and with a smirk, she unleashes a huge blast, clearing the entryway. Meanwhile, Klebius is still running and screaming revenge, swearing he'll murder both of them for this betrayal, even as Tarkan charges behind him, enraged. Rothtaylor preps for the real fight, saying the only option is to apprehend Tarkan, because damage is impossible without cracking that shell, just like last time, where even the entire party failed to scratch him. Rothtaylor starts charging mana, and Lortelle prepares another blast, but they both know it's not enough. The only thing that can break through that shell is Lucy. Cut to the rooftop, where Lucy, somehow, has been napping through all this chaos, dreaming about beef jerky. Rothtaylor slaps some jerky in her mouth, yelling at her to wake the hell up and eat, shoving food into her face while she wakes up mid-shock, furious at being force-fed. Her rage explodes into a massive electrical attack that slams into Tarkan, labeled Divine Punishment, as purple lightning crashes across the battlefield, cracking Tarkan's unbreakable shell at last. Rothtaylor knows this is the turning point. Tarkan, once invincible, is now vulnerable, and with EXP ripe for the taking, he leaps forward, aiming for the final strike, yelling that the last hit is his.